do the second season. And I show up and I'm putting on my costume and I go look for my tool belt. My tool belt is gone. And I am chagrined to tell you this, but I didn't figure out that I didn't really have a tool belt. It's like I realized this about 10 years ago, that I had a painter's apron. It wasn't a tool belt. I thought of it was a tool belt. I created a tool belt, I thought, but it was a painter's apron. But anyway, I show up, it's gone. And I go to Warren, our prop master, go, where's my tool belt? He goes, Disney took it. Well, what are they going to do with it? I go, we're still using it. We're still doing the show. And he goes, well, they took it. And I go, where did they take it? Well, it's at Disney World, and it's in a glass case, and people can walk by and look at it. So what am I going to use? Well, we got you this new, painter's apron, brand new. It wasn't worked in. It was too bright. It was too new. I had to distress it. I had to rip some things and make it look like it was, the one that I usually have. But I have that one. I took that one and I got to use that one for 7 years. Not quite as cool as the first one. And I would keep adding things to the tool belt that I would collect at shows like this. Like a really cool, I had a tape measure that was a magnet that would clip on with a magnet. There were all sorts of cool little things that I would just throw in there, and nobody really noticed, but I did. I think I had a Schlage key pin. Schlage was one of the first jobs I ever did outside of tool time for the hardware show in Chicago. Now, is anyone familiar with this giant hardware show in Chicago? It's where all of these guys, Pella Roofs makes a 3-story house and puts it in there. It's like everything you could possibly think of is at this show. And the Schlage people call me up and say, we'd like you to be in our booth. And I call my dad and I go, hey Dad, the Schlage people. And we had Schlage locks in our house. My dad put Schlage locks in our house in 1951. So I went, well, that's kind of cool. I'm going to work for Schlage locks. These guys could drink you under the table like that. My God, I'm on my first beer and they're already on their 4th. And then we would go out in Chicago, and at some point, I think I wound up on a boat in the middle of Lake Michigan. I have no idea how I got there. And there's a guy on his boat with an organ, and he's going, hey, do you think you could put this on tool time? And I'm going, wow, where am I? And then the next morning, it's like it never happened. These guys were bright and cheery, and I'm like, from my 1 beer, or maybe I have 3, I don't know. But did I answer that question? I know I rambled. Okay.